A northern policeman who was caught on Facebook. He tried to be anonymous, but he was exposed. He's a policeman currently serving. He has issued a 1 week period for Southerners to start receiving attacks, which will be a retaliation to the Edo 16 event that happened just some days ago. We all must not forget that the governor of Edo State, which is Akpokomiza as it's called, Monday Akpobolo, went to the north, begged them, apologized, kneeled down, prostrated, begged the families, vowed that he will compensate them. And just this morning, he posted on his social media that every soul that was involved from his own hometown will be condemned to face the capital punishment, which of course is the death punishment. These are the words of Akpokomiza. But again, you can see that the Northerners are always unforgiving. A policeman, you can imagine, a man who has signed up to serve the country. When you sign up to serve as a policeman or a Nigerian army, you become detribalized. Your tribe becomes less important to you. What comes first is the tribe of the country, which is the Nigerian tribe. But we see that fallacy, that Nigeria can be a concept, that Nigeria can become an ideology, that Nigeria can become someone's identity, has just been exposed once again. If a policeman can issue these words, as you can see on my screen, then you can imagine what the Nigerian army officers can say. Because we know that in the Nigerian army, we have more of the Northerners than the South. We have more of the Hausa Fulanis in the Nigerian army. And this is how and why they have held us down in the South, because they have occupied all those critical positions. And when they speak derogatory words like these, there's nothing, absolutely nothing we as the South will do. It's an unfortunate thing to watch. I mean, what does these people want? What do they want? Akpokomisa literally abandoned his own people. You know, a situation whereby your own house is burning, but you decided to go to someone else's house to help them, you know, quench the fire. But when your own house has burned to the ashes, you now assure your house members or your family members that don't worry, I'll rebuild it. When you could have salvaged yours first before you go to your neighbors. This is what is playing out. But the Northerners seem not to be satisfied with such gesture from Akpokomiza. They are saying that they must retaliate. That it should be a situation of eye for an eye. That no matter what compensation Akpokomiza wants to bring or pay to the families, would that bring back the lives of those that have been unalived? You see, I made a content. I said, we as the South, we need to be intentional. Though we are not united, we have our tribal lines, our tribal differences, and these are petty, by the way, because when you look at it in Nigeria today, those that go into what we call marital transactions most oftentimes are the Southerners, where you see a Yoruba man getting married to an Igbo man, you see an Igbo woman getting married to a Yoruba man, you see a Bayelsa man getting married to an Igbo man, you see a Benin man getting married to a Yoruba man. But even at that, despite the large numbers of marital transactions or agreement that we have, when it comes to the politics, we are so heavily divided, and we start talking about petty issues, frivolities, and these are the spaces, these are the lacunas, the weakness the Northerners saw, and they know that the Yorubas right now are not speaking to support the Uromi people. It is the Igbos that are coming up to support. The Yorubas are suddenly quiet. But when we want to argue ancestral, ancestral lineage, what is your ancestry, conversations has to do with ancestry, you see that the Yorubas will suddenly rise and start arguing with an Iromi man and a Do man. But according to an issue like this, everybody is silent. These are the weaknesses. These are the things the North look at and they say that these people, as far as they are divided, we will continue to trump over them. Then my second news is all about Tinubu keeps shattering, scattering, dismantling the influence of these northerners. What Tinubu does is simple. Where he knows that he doesn't want it to be obvious, he will go to the North Central and appoint someone who bears the name of Jimo, right? But he will have a Yoruba name. What he's simply trying to do is he's appointing Yorubas who are within the axis of the North Central, which was a facade that was created ever since the period of Babangida and Abacha. Tinubu just appointed a new general managing director and CEO of NNPC, Ojulari, sacking Melekiare. Melekiare, who is a Fulani man, has been kicked out. Tinubu told him, "You have done enough." And so many Northerners are now crying that why does he have to be another Yoruba man? Why can't he appoint another Hausa man? Why can't he appoint another ethnicity? Why must he be a Yoruba person? Well, for the information of the Fulani people, what Tinubu is simply doing is he is copying the template of Buhari. And since Buhari is the first person that did it, Tinubu is continuing. And there's a saying in the local parlance that they say, first to do, no they pay. Are you with me? They will tell you, first to do, he know they pay. Because Buhari was the one that brought this high level of nepotism. When Buhari was appointing Fulani left, right, center, it got to a point they kicked Kemi Adeosun, the Yoruba finance minister that worked with Buhari within the period of 2015 to I think 2016 or 17. I think she just worked for a period of 2 years. She was kicked out because of what? Nepotism. She was framed that she never had a certificate, a woman who was so very sound. She was kicked out, and then we had a Zainab replacing her. That was the beginning of the nepotism. Now, the Fulanis must be extremely patient and endure. They must be because they don't have a choice. They have to endure with Tinubu, who, of course, is not there for my own interest, even though I am a Yoruba man. But he is there for the interest of himself and his fellow cohorts who are apparently Yorubas in their large majority. We must equally not forget how Nasir El-Rufai came out and called Tinubu that Tinubu is a nepotist person. Right now, he has turned the Nigeria to a regional system of government where they are now Yorubanizing every positions and appointment. Talk of NNPC, talk of NEPA, everything you can think of. Talk of finance, talk of central, what's it called? CBN, talk of sport, talk of information, talk of security, talk of the Nigerian army, talk of the Nigerian police, talk of the Nigerian immigration. Every sector has been occupied by the cronies and cohorts of the president, who apparently is a Yoruba man. And now, not coincidentally, intentionally, he has injected all those people into those key positions so that tomorrow the Fulani people will not come out and try and dethrone him. I think this is what Tinubu is simply trying to do. He has learned from the master of nepotism, which is apparently his predecessor, and he has understood perfectly well that even though I may not work well, I might not perform exceptionally as a president, but at least I will not be in any way be plotted a coup against. That I will complete my 4 to 8 years tenure, and afterwards, he will now start preaching the unity of Nigeria. Because what Tinubu simply is doing is he is taking the high level of bigotry to stage 10. Buhari stop at maybe stage 4. Tinubu came on board and he has catapulted, he has accelerated it, you know, exponentially to that level it is today. And the North, to my left, to my right, to my front, to my back, are wailing, shedding tears that they never knew Tinubu be an ethnic bigot as it is today. This
Nigerian police officer in Kaduna threatens reprisal attack on Southerners in the north over Edo killing. There is no doubt that the most talked about killing is the Uromi 16. Okay? Despite the religious killing that took place in Jos on the eve of Christmas, nobody talks about it. By the way, the governor traveled to see Tinubu on Christmas Day when his people were bleeding. Other presidents for other countries were tweeting. The governor was in Lagos with Tinubu drinking champagne. So that is the kind of country you people are. All right? Now, this Nigerian police officer is from the north. He's serving in Kaduna State. Okay? He is now threatening a reprisal attack on the southern. This is a supposed Nigerian police. That is to confirm when T.Y. Danjuma will tell you that Nigerian police and military are colluding with the armed bandits to commit ethnic cleansing against the people. How could a police officer threaten to kill Southerners because of what happened in Uromi? However, his own people have been in the south, kidnapping, killing, doing all sorts of things against the people. Anyway, it is time for people to begin to give everyone the measure they bring. If you bring peace, we give you peace. If you bring violence, we give you violence. This is not the time for let God judge. We judge, and after we judge, God will also judge. So there is no time for us to continue to be a peacemaker. When your enemy want to kill you, they don't want your peace. So whether these people denounced the attacks going on in the south, whether they said that they are disassociating with the bandits, that they are spoiling their image. I spoke to a friend who is a Muslim yesterday. What he told me was all these Fulani bandits, they are just spoiling the image of Islam. They are just spoiling the name of the North, that they disassociate with them. I said that is not a bad thing. Every good conscious person would like to disassociate from the bad things, but the question remains, who are their sponsors? Who is backing them up? You see this Nigerian police that is talking rubbish on the social media. If, for example, now they bring on his table that his people are kidnapping in the south, that look at their crimes and they hand them over to him, immediately he will let them go. That is the kind of compromises you see in Nigeria that is making us to say everything that Nigeria can never be one and shouldn't have been one right from time. Okay? Because anytime this story or this idea of separation of Nigeria comes, people used to think that, what do you mean? What of people who have houses in the north? What about people who have houses in the west? What about your brothers who have houses in US? Is US Nigeria? What about people who have houses in London? Is London Nigeria? Nigeria has created more enemies for people. You see the way Nigerians live with Cameroon, Cotonou, Ghana, they go to Gambia, everybody will live in peace and they are happy coming to Nigeria as well. That is how we are supposed to be. If you are from Arewa, you are going to Duduwa Republic, you should be happy going there. If you are from Biafra, you are going to Arewa Republic, you should be happy going there. And when you get there, you obey their rules. While you are coming to our country, you will obey our rules. That is how it's supposed to be. You know, we started talking about the issue of killing until everybody now wakes up. It is already too late. Before people will come to realize what we are talking about the separation of Nigeria, it will be very, very late. And that time people will be begging, please, oh, we need to separate. Oh, it will be too late. But now you don't have the reason to think that. But I promise you, with the trend of what is going on, people will beg for this country to separate. And that time it will be too late. So that is just what I think that will happen. Okay, mark it, save it, and time will come, you will reference it. Now, police officer from Kaduna State, Hadaina Husiani Dan Taki, has threatened reprisal attack on Southerners living in the northern Nigeria. Dan Taki's comment came in response to the killing of 16 Northerners in Uromi, Edo State. Meanwhile, on Tuesday, Dan Taki, through a Facebook post, swore in the name of God, declaring that Northerners in the north must take action against the Southerners. Now, when does this issue become the issue of the north and the south? You see, the first thing they did when this thing happened was to say that the Igbo settlers in Uromi, they saw that the narrative didn't sell. They said Uromi is an Igbo land. They saw that the narrative did not sell before they said Southerners. So if you are Yoruba, you are Edo, you are Icho, you are this, you are that, you are Igbo, you are in the north, they will start attacking you. Before they were saying that any Christian in the north, they are going to attack them. But when they discovered now that even people who joined in that mob action were Muslims, so the narrative did not sell. The narrative now hits a roadblock. And what they are saying now, the whole Southerners. Let me see how far this narrative will still sell. But nobody, at this point in time, nobody is afraid of anything. Because what you are afraid of is already at your doorstep. Your people are being killed. Your people are being kidnapped. So what is the essence of any threat? Bring it on. Okay, people are ready. Bring it on. Now, he further warned that Southerners had forgotten their families were living in the north, vowing that within 1 week, the Southerners shall see the result. Okay, that is within 1 week, right? The post quickly attracted widespread condemnation from social media users, many of whom called out Dan Taki for inflaming ethnic tensions, especially given his public position as a police officer. Many expressed concerns that his action could further exacerbate division, with some heighten his police uniform in controversial posts. But the issue we refuse to understand in all this controversy is that the theory of tribalism is a theory that will always make people to fall back from where they are coming from. If you get to US or London, it is very hard for you to see Nigerian meetings, or Germany or Italy. What you see is the Edo meeting, the Igbo meeting, the Ijo meeting, the Hausa meeting. No, I have never seen Hausa meeting because Hausa people don't normally come to Western countries. The Yoruba meeting, different cultures. Do you know why? Because if you see someone now, you say, oh, bros, how are you? I'm fine. Where are you from? I'm in Nigeria. Nigerian? Okay. Which part? Theories of tribalism. Everybody must fall back to where they are coming from. Because Nigeria is a pseudo country. It's a pseudo country. If you like, you understand it. If you don't like, don't understand it. Then maybe they will ask you, oh, I am from Yoruba. They will even try to know where in Yoruba land, which state. After which state, oh, okay. If the person still knows that, they will go back to ask you which family. So everybody always fall back. So the police officer is just responding to the theories of tribalism that he must fight for his nation, our nation. It is well. Now, in response to the criticism, he blocked his page, limiting users' ability to view his posts and comments. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, Muyiwa Adejobi, the first public relations officer, FPRO, responded on X to the situation. The police spokesperson stated, noted for necessary action. Thanks. Sahara reporters on Tuesday reported that a man from northern Nigeria issued a 48-hour ultimatum to President Bola Tinubu and Edo State Governor Monday Okpebolo, demanding swift action to identify and apprehend those responsible for the killing of 16 Northerners in Uromi, Edo State. Okay, these people talk. Sometimes you just come out online to talk rubbish. Which one is giving a president ultimatum to identify? Leave them to do what they want to do. When the investigation is concluded, they will know. Anyway, Nigeria system of investigation, as we know, is so poor, compromise, okay? And it is also to the favor of the highest bidder, okay? But let's see what the end will be. But who is fishing out people who are killing in the south? The Fulani terrorists who are everywhere. Who is fishing them out? That is the reason why we have that mob action, because where there is no injustice, jungle justice is inevitable. In a video seen by Sahara reporters on Tuesday, he had threatened that failure to do so would lead to retaliatory attacks against Southerners residing in the north. And it's a promise. It's a promise that if any attack happens to anybody from the north, who are from the south, living in the north, I mean, because of this Edo killing, let them know that more people, more northerners are in the south, and they will face the same thing. As I said before, this one is anything someone brings, you give them back. This is not the time for peace. There is time for peace. There is time for war. Okay? So, according to the DSS chief, he says the community should mobilize to deal with terrorists. If somebody come to your community, you people should deal with them, kill them, do everything against terrorists. Okay? That was what DSS chief said yesterday. So I'm quoting him. He said that people from Tafawa Balewa local government, people from, there are two places he mentioned in the north. When Boko Haram comes, they kill the whole Boko Haram. That was how Boko Haram stopped coming. So there is a language they understand. The language is, if they come to your village, kill them. That was what the DSS chief was saying yesterday. In a 3 minutes, 30-second video obtained by Sahara reporters, the unidentified man had expressed his concern over the killing, citing that northerners will not remain patient in the face of such attack. All right. The article continues, okay? So he had implied that any reprisals in the north should be blamed on the southerners. So let me stop this article here. But what we are saying is that all this issue is happening because there was a problem. The problem was the government is colluding with the armed bandits. And that is it. That is why they are not serving the justice. So since there is no justice, we now resorted to jungle justice. And that is where we are today. Nobody should blame anybody. If you are terrorists, you are planning to go to south, you are from the north, you will meet your death. There is no mercy any longer. No more mercy. Okay? Even though you are in the north, you see terrorists, Boko Haram, all those things. When you see them, eliminate them. The DSS chief told you that they can't protect all of you. You should mobilize and deal with terrorists. Mark the word. I'm only talking about people who are there to take your own life. Don't sit and fold your hand and allow people to take your life. Life is one. When they have done that, tomorrow they can even repent. They become a good people. They become good people. Why you yourself? It's already gone. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that everybody, it is time. That thing you are afraid of before, it is time. Okay? Face your fear. And at the end, victory will become yours.